Well, photo means to me is a captured moment in time. It always reminds me of a specific point in my life, and I think when you take a photo, you can always remember who you were with, what you were doing, even if they're not necessarily in the photo. You can, if it's just of a landscape, for example, you can remember, what you did that day, and so yeah, it's really preserving and capturing a memory. Very easy to take photos now, and it does definitely take away from the value of them because a photo used to be very precious, and now I feel like they're just so ephemeral. They're just everywhere. It's so easy to take photographs now that they just don't feel as personal. So yeah, and I think the whole thing of 25, 30 years ago, everyone's shooting on film. Um, Obviously, when you're shooting on film, you have to be so much more precious about every photo. So it takes a lot. The process of taking a photo is a lot more of a bigger deal.
I don't find digital photography is impersonal because most people end up putting them on Facebook or social media, which is an incredibly personal thing.
Share a moment with a friend, and then things like Snapchat, where you just take a photo and you don't even look at it. It's just for everyone else to see, for it to disappear, so you can show what you're doing. And
When I think of a photograph, I immediately think of a proper photograph that you can hold. It's probably because of the era that I was born. I was born when photographs, you had to get them developed, or we had those Instamatic cameras, Polaroid cameras, and I can remember, it's probably in the 80s, having one of those, and you had a big black thing that you put in, and it was good at the time.
yeah, I think we have lost something with that move because um, there's something about film which is so like it is a material form. So um, you kind of feel a lot closer to the photographs you're taking because you're literally, I mean, bare bones. You're just exposing light to a piece of film.
Obviously, the quality of photographs has is immense compared to photographs taken years ago. It was very costly to buy a professional camera, so where now you can get quite professional looking photographs digitally.
You had to make sure, like, it was just a raw photo, isn't it? You just take the photo and that's what you get. You can't add a filter or change the scene.
So I suppose the benefit of having a digital photograph that you've got on your phone or on your computer is it's so easy to share. Whether or not that sharing is a good sharing because it's just so easy.
Of course, being digital, you can see on the screen precisely what you're going to take before you take it. Whereas in the old days, you had to proof it and you had to develop it before you'd even see what you've done, and you didn't know whether it was going to be in focus, whether you'd snapped the right shot. It was all long-winded in the old days. So no, I think you've gained rather than lost.
It was the same sort of pictures, wasn't it? It was just these are from birthdays and holidays, and those are from that was a holiday as well. So it's the same pictures, but at the same time, this is more personal, isn't it? This has more nostalgia value because it's not just the photos, but it's the actual photo album, isn't it?
I think it's something nice about holding photographs and turning the page, and obviously these are not my family photographs, but very similar thing, that you would remember that incident. I know you would on digital, but I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but it's something nice about turning a page.
there's something a lot nicer than having something in a physical form to look at, as opposed to it just being made of pixels. And there's definitely something much nicer having it on a piece of paper printed out in front of you to really appreciate and look at and cherish. And I kind of feel like you don't get that with a digital image on a computer.